Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by my lovely co host, Angel.
Hello.
This week we are covering Guiding Light. We watched 4 episodes, January 30th to February 2nd,
Mhm.
1995. So I will roll the credits and we will get right into it. Um, so I feel like a lot happened or was resolved this week.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, we're going into February. So this is February sweeps now. So
Mhm.
things are being revealed, things are moving fast. Um, I guess the smallest thing we can get out of the way is Frank and Eleni are arguing about her going to Greece to help out her family.
Mhm.
He doesn't think she should go because they have people there that they have to help because of the fire. Um, and he makes a comment like he knows that that's her family, but like it doesn't seem real to him because he's not seeing it and he didn't grow up there. Like
Mhm.
this is real to him because he's living in it. And so she takes offense to that. Obviously, I would too, because that
Yeah,
is
I
her
would
family.
too.
It is real for her. Like this is her
Yeah.
life. Um, so Buzz on the sly is like, I'm gonna help you go to Greece without Frank knowing.
I'll help you go.
I like Buzz.
I like Buzz too.
I actually like the relationship between him and Eleni.
Mhm.
It's nice, a supportive relationship. Um, so Frank agrees in a way for her to go to Greece, but they're gonna go together
Mhm.
when the time is right. And she's like, no, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
now.
I gotta know. I gotta know.
So she basically like sneaks out in the middle of the night and Buzz like helps her go to Greece.
Mhm.
And Frank is pissed when he finds out.
He is pissed. And like Buzz was like reading a paper or something like that, and he went 10, 9, 8, 7. Yes, he went upstairs. Frank went upstairs to discover that a lady wasn't there, and then he comes back downstairs. Just counting down.
He's such a good actor. I love those. I
He
just
is.
timing is so good. Um, so I don't know if he was just mouthing off, and that's just the nature of their relationship. But I feel like Frank like disowned Buzz. He was just like, I can't believe you did that. You went behind my back and you helped my wife basically run away from me.
Mhm.
And then when he found out it was only for 3 days, he kind of mellowed a little bit. He's still angry, but he like chilled out.
Mhm.
And I was a little confused for like a split second because we saw Eleni. I don't know if she was on the plane or if there was like a boat that was taking her to her part of Greece, but she was on some kind of vestibule that was taking her
Mhm.
somewhere. And she was asleep. And I was like, first of all, where are we? I was like, and who's this man that she's like sleeping on?
Yeah,
Like I didn't know she
I
just like
was
fell
confused.
asleep. um, so that was pretty much that story. Um, so Lucy, I thought maybe she took the job last time we watched because she started answering the
I thought.
phones, but she didn't.
Nope.
Um, and she's sitting at the diner talking with Nadine, who we saw last time was trying to get a job, but
Mhm.
she's not really qualified for much because she doesn't really have the education, the job experience, or the computer skills.
Mhm. Mostly the computer skills.
Yeah. um, but Lucy gets it in her head that Nadine being Alan Michael's secretary might be a good fit for her. Her heart was in the right place, but that's a big time job for somebody that doesn't have the experience, especially with
Mhm.
technology.
Yeah, and they implied that Lucy didn't went to college, or if she did, she probably didn't graduate.
Yeah.
And but she's way more qualified for the job than Nadine is because she has a computer skills. She knows what she's doing, and
She
she's an
probably
executive
she probably like
assistant.
started it in like the mailroom and worked her way up
Hmm.
throughout jobs, and that's how she like got the experience because that's
Hmm.
how some people do it. They just kind of move up within a company
Hmm.
without having the education.
Yeah.
Um, so So Nadine starts there, and Lucy's trying to show her how to use the phone. And I like how she keeps messing up and calling him Alan Michael, and then she's like, I mean, Mr. Spaulding.
And it's because he was married to Harley before, so they have that.
Okay, so I didn't know that, and I didn't look it up, but I kind of pieced it together when he said she used to be my mother-in-law. I'm like, okay, so who would he have been married to? And I'm like, Harley.
Yeah, it was
So,
Harley.
okay. He's a little hesitant because of her skills, her lack of skills. He shows her how to use the phone, how to look it up when he says he needs to be in contact with somebody. Um, a company wants her to fax some paperwork over. She doesn't know how to fax it. So Alan kind of just tells her, you just dial the number and you just run the paper through, like what you need to send. And when she put all the papers in that manila envelope, I was like, she's not. No way.
No way. No
really
way. And I barely know how to fax, and even I know that that's not.
Almost causing a fire. It was smoking because it was probably like overheating. But then, okay, so there was like a turn in this because then Alan Michael, in the nicest way possible, calls Lucy and tells her that things aren't working out with Nadine. And I don't know, the way that it ended, it almost felt like Nadine was doing it on purpose to get Lucy there.
That's what I thought too.
Like she's like, I'm just gonna be really bad at this, so Lucy has to save the day. So yeah, that's pretty much how that went down.
I want to add one last thing to this. So I was screaming at my phone, not because of something a little different that is tangentially related to this. We get a character introduction. His name is Brett Lawrence. Everybody who is listening to this, you are probably screaming too. I'm not going to say much more.
He was cute.
Except look up Norman Byrne.
So when Alan intercommed Nadine to get him on the phone, the name sounded familiar.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know who this is, but I feel like I should know who this is.
You should.
So he's an actual thing. He's a person, a character.
In a big way. Yeah. Okay. We'll get to this. We'll get to it. I don't know if the story's about to start or not, but we're gonna get into it. Brett Lawrence, oh my fucking God.
Okay.
Yes.
I know nothing. I'm excited.
Yes. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Just like if you want to, it does involve a lot of makeup, so like that's why I said Norman Byrne or Norman Byrne. I'm forgetting his name. I'm sorry. I know I'm friends with you on Facebook, but there's a huge makeup thing that happens in the storyline that's coming up. So that's all you need to know.
Okay. I really like the actress that plays Lucy. I looked her up actually, and I was sad to see that the character was only on from 93 to 97. I was like, really? I was like, she seems really important.
She was on One Life to Live as well, I think.
Really?
I was watching One Life to Live when she was on there. So
after this or before it?
After.
Oh, okay.
She was only on there for like a year. I know she played like. Did she play a psycho on there? I'm trying to remember because I was like 12 when I was watching One Life to Live, and
okay, that kind of lines up with when she left then, because that would have been like 97, 98.
Yeah, like 97, 98 is when she was on there. But I'm trying to remember what God, what was her character's name? It wasn't what's it, Barbara? I think her name was Barbara.
Something about her if I just like quickly glance, she reminds me of Bobby Eakes a little bit. Her look, not like her acting, but I like her. I mean, I know it's going to take us a while to get to 1997 probably, but like, I'm sad that she's leaving so soon, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that. So, okay, so we started off the week hot.
Yes.
Sid is out of prison, but he's still being assumed to be the person that started the 5th Street fire. And I was really excited because we saw Vivian. And David comes into the restaurant. I keep forgetting the name of the restaurant. that all the
I
rich
think
people go
I
to?
think it says Towers? I'm not
The
sure.
towers?
Towers, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's Towers or not.
So it is, Jilly, Sid, and Vivian, and David comes, and he is pissed
Mhm,
because he knows everything that Vivian did to get rid of, Gabrielle. I was like, "I can't
mhm.
remember her name." It's the name that they give every Latina on a so
Yeah. I think they
um,
gave it to, like, Chanel Workman's character on Bold and Beautiful, gave her that name.
really?
I think she's supposed to be Latina on that show.
So I guess that's the end of her, huh? They really just, like, were like, "Bye, girl."
Yeah, because like, there's a part later where Bridget was in the basement. I thought we were about to see Gabriella, but then I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not Gabriella, that's Bridget."
Um, he's basically talking very loud, and Vivian's like, "People are looking." Like, she's very about the
People
appearance, and and he's like, "I don't care," and he, like, starts shouting, and he basically disowns her.
Mm,
And he lets, he lets everybody know what she did,
mhm,
that she paid Gabrielle to leave, um, even though we know that Gabrielle ripped the check up.
mhm.
I keep saying Gabrielle. Is it Gabrielle or Gabriella? We'll just call her Gabby.
Gabrielle is on Port Charles and Gabriella on here.
Okay.
But don't worry, she's gone, so we're not gonna have to worry
We'll just
about
call her
that
Gabby.
anymore.
We're never gonna talk about her again anyway.
Let's call her Gabby.
Um, so yeah, he's like, every time I see you, I'm just gonna keep walking. He's like, I'm gonna walk the other way. Like, he's like, think of me as dead because that's how I'm gonna think of you. So he disowns Vivian.
Mhm,
Jilly runs off to go, comfort him, talk to him, and Sid offers to stay with the mother, which I thought was sweet.
mhm.
Um, David, he mentioned something. He mouthed off something about Sid being the golden child or something, or being the new light of her life or whatever. Vivian, because I don't know. I guess she likes Sid.
Yeah, you would think she wouldn't because,
Everything
he's
that's
getting
going on.
arrested, everything's going on with him and getting arrested, the little fires and everything like that. But no.
We see David go back to the apartment to pack up some things or his things. So he is moving back to the boarding house that
Mhm.
Bridget runs. Okay. Um, so I don't know if it's just the way she's being written currently, but I have to say I don't really like Bridget. She she kind of gets on my nerves. I don't like bitter
Yeah.
Bridget.
I wonder if it's
um,
because like, Bridget and Lucy's energies to me duplicate off of each other, that they have to kinda go, like, skirt like, go a certain way with Bridget, so that way she's not the same as Lucy.
okay, and
They
they're
have, like,
related, right?
similar energy to them to me. And I know because I saw some earlier episodes with Bridget where she's not as
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know because I don't really know much about her before this. So, like, just coming in and not knowing her and seeing this bitter character, I don't really love the writing for this.
Yeah, because she used to because I know when I saw her when she was pregnant with, Peter, when I saw clips of that, she had a fun, goofy energy and that sort of thing, but serious at the same time,
So she's at the boarding house in the basement that you mentioned earlier, and
yeah.
David walks in. And at first, I'm like, "What is she doing?" So to me, it looked like she was like doing clown makeup, like because she's sitting there like doing her makeup or whatever. I don't know why she was hiding out in the basement. But David finds her, and I guess they have a friendship
Mhm.
that kind of goes back, and he kind of reminds her of who she used to be, and like he wants to see that person again, and they kind of goof around. And the outfit she ends up wearing was bad. It was like tie dye, weird, the hat and everything. um, I don't. I think it may have been before this, but oh, what's her name? Not Alexandra. Vanessa. Vanessa came to see Peter.
Yeah.
Peter's the kid. I always want to call him
Oh, that
Paul.
was when, like, the announcer came in and said, "We will return to our regularly scheduled program already in progress." Like, "What? Where did
Yeah,
that come from?"
right. So Vanessa came to see Peter, and Bridget's, like, not having it. Um, she thinks that Vanessa basically wants to take Peter away, or she
Mhm.
accuses her of that, and we kind of get a little bit of details, even though we know it because one of our listeners left it in the comments,
Thank you, I
um,
appreciate you.
about how, like, the dynamic in their relationship, that
Mhm,
they have, like, joint custody, so they're both
mhm,
his mother. Um, but Bridget throws it in her face that she's the one that gave birth to him. So
mhm,
she, in a way, is like, "So I'm more his mother than you are," and Vanessa kinda, like, bites back, like, "I'll get a lawyer if I have to," and but
mhm,
then they, like, they make up. They apologize for talking to each other
mhm,
like that. Um, like I said, Bridget's just bitter because Stillin left her,
mhm.
and she accused Vanessa of wanting to see Peter because things are kind of, I wouldn't say rocky, but, like, not great because last time we watched, Matt tried to intervene in, Bill and Vanessa's argument, and
Mhm,
she kinda told him to stay out of it. "You're not his father, like,
mhm,
I'll take care of this." So they're kind of in a thing right now. Um, so Bridget accuses Vanessa of wanting to see Peter to kinda, like, compensate for the fact that things aren't great with Matt. That
Yeah.
was a long circle that I just went around.
Mhm,
Um, so many characters to remember, but I really love I don't know, I don't know these characters well, but, like, I just love the acting and the writing, like, I just
mhm.
it almost feels comfortable, like, just I could just
Yeah.
sit there and I'm in it, like, I like it.
Yeah, and then I found out, I had to actually read the comments of this, but I was watching a video a little earlier, outstanding lead actress in 1975.
Mhm.
So, because of the way that the, eligibility period was, and because of the O.J. Simpson trial, 2 scenes that we watched were eligible for an outstanding lead actress. So, remember Marge Doucet when she as Alexander, when she was fighting with Alan
Yeah,
on the plane? That
yeah.
was that got her outstanding leading actress nomination, and then,
Oh,
Marge Doucet, remember when the building blew up and she screamed?
yes.
That was another one. But Erica Slezak won. So, but they
Okay.
were not yeah, but the 2 scenes that we watched were got them nominations. So,
Oh, wow. Well, she
yeah,
deserved
they both
it.
deserve it, yeah. And
I
I
love the
wanna
fighting
see
scene.
more of that. I wanna see more of that award show. Say, what other stuff did we watch to get to that from Guiding
It's
Light?
funny you mentioned that because literally the other day I was like, "I wonder if there's some award shows," like, because 'cause we're watching so much old stuff, I'm like,
Mhm.
I wonder if any of the things that we watched won anything." Like,
I know poor Charles Barely did, but Guiding Light, I know. I'm sure Guiding Light's been nominated.
I think I was watching Classic Bold when I thought about it, and I'm like, I feel like if I remember correctly, Bold didn't get a lot of love in the beginning because it was, like, a newer soap,
Mhm.
and people kinda,
I
like,
know
their
Susan
nose up
Flannery
to it.
took home a lot of awards.
Did she?
2 or 3. Well, not a lot. I mean, a lot for, like, a daytime Emmys, like, I know she took home maybe, like, 2 or 3 or 4 awards, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's all Bold and Beautiful or was some Days of Our Lives and then Bold and Beautiful.
Well, I know Days is well, at least with the Emmys, Days never really got love, but
Mhm.
they always cleaned up at, like, the Soap Opera Digest Awards.
Yes.
Anyway, back to Guiding Light.
Yes.
Um, so Bill, I keep wanting to call him Billy because he's the child, but I'm like,
Yes.
Bill,
Bill.
um, is distraught about everything that's going on with Sid, and him and Vanessa talk about it. And another little detail, apparently Sid was the lawyer that helped them get joint custody of Peter.
Mm,
And Bill has a memory of finding a note that Vanessa left for Matt, and that's how apparently he found out about them, like, he knew
mhm.
already. And he was so angry that he thinks that he tipped over a candle or a lamp or something,
Canister.
a
Like
canister,
a like lantern, like the canister on lantern.
and that he was responsible for starting the fire. So he goes down to the police and he confesses that he started the fire
Mhm.
to help Sid. Um, which was sweet. I had a lot of cringy moments with this part of the story
Mhm.
because I guess it was the DA was so like, we got to get Sid, we got to nail this guy, we got to put him in jail, and I don't know who that police officer was, the commissioner, the main police officer. But the minute that Bill confessed, all of a sudden it was like,
Yeah.
we can't ruin this kid's life. And I'm like, so
Mm,
you're just gonna let this black man take the fall
uh-huh.
for it? And I'm just like,
Mm. And then
is
I
this
when I was yelling at my phone screen, I was like, "You better get Sid off or else
right?
I will not watch the show anymore."
And
I mean, I will, but
also I had the thought, I'm like, are you only saying this also because it's a white kid? Because if let's
exactly.
say this was a black kid, you'd be like, well, he needs to learn a lesson. Like
Needs to learn
it
a lesson.
just
Yep.
didn't, it just felt
Nope.
really icky, and I didn't like it. uh,
And then
but
also because, like, well, Sid is I mean, lawyers make a lot of money. Let's let's be real. But I also thought like, oh, because it's Vanessa's son, because Vanessa is high society and everything like that, that they didn't want to not excuse the behavior, but this is what I was thinking too, which made me angrier. That like because Vanessa's high society, because she's a Chamberlain, she's a Lewis, like she's attached
okay.
to all these like rich families that
Mhm.
dragging Bill like that would yeah, that's his name. Dragging Bill like that would also be like not
Letting,
terrible, but like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. They but I didn't see them doing that.
So I kind of skipped over this, but prior to Bill confessing, they had a videotape, not a videotape, an audio tape from Blake that she gave to the police when she was on one of her sleuthing missions out and doing nothing, just sitting in her car with her binoculars.
Yep. That was like one of the first episodes we saw.
Yeah. Um, where she described somebody she saw in a red parka, I guess it
Mhm.
was, which is what we saw or we tried to see through the, pixelated image a few
Yeah,
episodes back where I was like, what are we looking at when they like zoomed on something? She said she saw somebody in a red parka. And when Sid is with Blake and oh, what's his name? Russ?
Ross.
Ross?
Ross.
Ross. Um, he mentions that he was wearing the red parka, and Blake's like, "Oh my god, this is what did I do? This is all my fault." Like she basically feels like she handed
Mhm.
Sid over to the police. Um, but yeah, like I said, it was resolved. I guess this is the end of it. Like
Yeah.
they tell Bill that it was an accident, that it was the fireworks going off,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, this is why it felt a little icky also, because it's like people's lives were ruined, their houses burned down, but
Yeah.
you're just gonna like let this kid off because you don't want to ruin his life. Other people's lives are ruined.
Uh-huh.
Like yeah. So I was like, all right, can we get past this? Because I don't
I
like
don't
this.
think yeah. I don't think it's over because like now because like remember after this, Bill was having nightmares too.
Yes,
I don't
he
think this is
was.
totally over.
I wasn't sure if that was because there was more story or if he's just like has PTSD from it so
Yeah,
much.
maybe it's maybe PTSD wasn't the way that PTSD back then wasn't like the way it's portrayed now. I mean, not portrayed
Yeah.
like the way it really is now. Like it
Yeah.
used to be just for military people, but so I wonder how much of that we're gonna see.
Unless the story is he finds out he was lied to and he realizes he really did start the fire.
Mm.
Also, the actor's really good, the child actor that plays him.
Yeah, Brian. I think it's Buffington.
And he kind of reminds me of a really young Jesse Lee Sofer.
He does. Yeah, because I was that was so funny because like there was like one part where like I was expecting him to just be like every other child actor and whine and cry and everything like that, but he sighed and just like walked away. I'm like, oh, that's a good acting choice. Oh, I love this man. What he's doing now. Alan Locker needs to get him interview him. I wonder if he
So
did. I don't know.
So when we were talking about Guiding Light this week, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna see Annie," because I saw her in the thumbnail. It wasn't her, it was Nadine. I saw the blonde and I thought it was Annie. But we did see Annie
We
just
did, yep.
in at the end of the week. Apparently she's very popular with the patients. Everybody likes her. And is it Lillian?
Lillian, yep. Beth's
And
mother.
who was the other one, the brunette? The other
Eve.
doctor? Eve?
Yeah, so yes, we have a nurse named Eve and a doctor named Eve. So
Oh. um Mostly Lillian though, is kind of like raising an eyebrow to how popular she is
Mhm.
and all the praise she's getting. And then Josh shows up to get his cast changed and he like specifically requests Annie. Um and they actually have a nice moment. They're not like being
Yeah.
sarcastic or like fighting with each other. He's a little bit nervous because the spinning blade thing that they use to cut the cast off, he's afraid it's gonna like cut
Uh-huh.
him. And she like puts her finger to it and she's like, "See, it's not gonna like cut you."
Yeah.
They talk about Mara, and she's like, "Oh, is she having her dolls cast changed today also?" So that was sweet. She
Mhm.
likes Mara. Um, and Josh kind of fumbles, but he asks her out to dinner, like to go on a date.
It's the beginning.
And she kind of like throws it in his face. She's like, "Oh, are things not working out with the personal ad you set?" To like embarrass him a little bit. And then he's like, "I don't know how to do this. Never mind." And she's like, "No, no, no." She's like, "I do want to go out with you." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
It's the
So I'm excited.
beginning.
um, that was pretty much it. There was like a little bit of Roger and Holly. He came to see her, I think, for their anniversary.
Mhm.
Um, and there was like this whole big thing about Tangi being out of town and why was she out of town when Holly doesn't even like her and now all of a sudden she's back and she's going on these um where is she overseas or something?
Yeah, she's overseas. I forgot what they called it. I don't know, something with Pulitzer. I don't know.
Yeah. And Holly was just like, well, she did a really great job during the fire, so I thought she could handle it and she deserved it. And people are like,
Yeah, and then
well,
yeah,
Roger's
and
like,
then yeah,
really?
Fletcher was like, "You're just jealous because she's better than you." Like, she was not a popular character.
There was also a scene with Blake and Holly, and you know how I
Mhm.
feel about how they look the same age. And she was like,
Yes.
"Mom," and I was like, are you sure it's your mom?" She's like, "How come you didn't accept Dad's engagement?" I'm like, "You guys are sisters. You're not mother and daughter." But yeah, I just like how cool and like unflinching Holly is. She's just like a matter of fact
Mhm.
about everything. I like the
Yep.
actress. Is there anything I missed?
Trying to think. Let's see. You covered Eleni. You covered. Um. Oh, I'm trying to remember who the guy was. Remember the scene with we just talked about it with where everybody was praising Annie. I'm trying
Mhm.
to remember who the African American guy was. Is he? Oh my gosh,
He's a doctor, right?
he's a doctor. Yeah, is that Grant's dad? Julian.
I think so
I think that's him.
because he was the one that was like running the shelter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I think I remember her saying dad, so I think that's
Mhm.
her father.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yep. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was like, oh hey, we see him today. So
So then that's Vivian's husband?
Vivian's husband. Yep.
Okay, so they're together. They're not like ex-husband
Yeah.
and wife. Okay. We saw
Yeah, the character named
Alexandra
Vincent
for like a
Williams.
minute. She came to see Alan Michael while Nadine was messing everything up. And he's like, everything's under control. And she's like, oh, okay, good luck.
Mhm,
um yeah, I like Nadine. I didn't really know what to expect from her. Is she always
mhm.
kind of like comic relief? Is she just kind of like
She's kind of like that. I think she's also is she also a psychic or is she about to be a psychic? I don't know. Which is
like
kind of
kind of
ironic considering we're not going to go there, but like if she is a psychic, it's kind of ironic considering what happens to her later. So,
And that kinda goes with how Buzz's character is, because he's, like he does serious, but he has his comical moments.
hmm
It kind of I guess the only thing I could really compare it to with Days is, like, Eugene and Calliope.
hmm
But, yeah, I like them. Buzz, I don't think is dating anybody, right, currently? That's
right,
what we're
because
watching?
he Jenna just left. Even though she's still in the opening credits, and so is Dylan. Um,
Harley's not on the show, at least we haven't
Harley's
seen
not on
her.
the show. It's been
Okay.
like maybe like a year or two out, a few years out that she's been off of the show. But she's
Okay.
coming back in '97, I think.
Oh, wow.
Or is she coming back? Somebody told me she's coming back. There's an anniversary coming up, but I don't know what year though. Probably '96. She thinks she comes back for that, and then she comes back full time '97.
Okay.
And that just it's kind of like she sees Lucy coming in, she sees Lucy coming out. So
Um, in the scene where Lucy came to the rescue, she mentioned Tangy being back in town, even though we didn't see her.
oh, okay.
Um, and Al Michael kind of reiterates that things are over between them, and I'm like, I just feel like everybody's shitting on Tangy.
Yeah, like so wait a minute, hold on. Wait, what? Oh my god, what was I listening to? It probably was the chat. They were mentioning that Tangi had like a long list of people that they were trying to pair her up with. Like she was with Alan, she was with Alan Michael, she was wait, I think she was with Alan. She was with Josh for a little bit.
Oh.
Before before he became a sad sack. Who was she was with a lot of people. They tried to make fetch what happened with her.
They try to make fetch happen.
And what wound up not happening, which is a shame because I do like Marcy Walker a lot.
Yeah. Hmm. I wonder what it was, because like she's a popular actress from Santa Barbara and All My Children.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
it was
should have
just
been a recast. I don't know of who though. Maybe Harley.
hmm.
That would have been like a good
Maybe the character just wasn't set up properly and people just
yeah.
didn't take to it.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah, because they did say she was a ward of Rogers, so that's kind of how they connected her with the show.
Right. They did say that. But I think that's all that happened.
Yeah, that's all that happened.
It was good. I really do like Guiding Light 1995.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to continue.
hmm
Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of Queers and Soaps, Guiding Light. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.
Bye.